Alright guys, we are back with Starters Order 7. Same recording session, but you're probably watching this a day or two later. I think I figured out what was going on. My settings were completely not what they should have been. Don't even know why I had them on there to begin with. Nonetheless, I think we're just going to go ahead and skip to Desert Glow's race at the end of the month, which is on Halloween. Let's go ahead and do that. And let's see if we can actually view this darn thing and hope that my fixes actually worked. Otherwise, what I just said in the last 30 seconds really meant nothing. Hope you guys are doing well, as always. Traveling to Albany, so finally I think closer to our side of the country for once. Desert Glow up in the first race. That's also great. Usually we're like way down on the card. Handicap, a 95 level handicap here. 4-year-olds on the turf, going a mile and 2 furlongs. And I don't know if we'll have favoritism at the end. 5-1, so not terrible actually. But Sand Tiger is the favorite. We're technically the best horse in the field, but whether we'll win is obviously up in the air, if I'm reading this right. All right, let's go see if we can actually watch the race at the race course this time. Hopefully what I did worked. Yes, much better. All right. Yeah, my settings were on like settings that I never run this game on, so really weird. And I don't know if it was just because, like I said, maybe it's been a while since I played. Keep in mind, we have the Ronald McDonald silk colors, and we're the only gray horse in the field, so that makes it easy to see where we're at. So yes, this is what I was expecting it to be like in the last episode, but my settings were not correct. As you see, Desert Glow is dropping back. This is a long race, a mile. We're going around the grandstands, I believe, for the first time. I don't want to mess with the camera settings too much because sometimes I end up forgetting the exact, setting of viewpoints that I like the most. And I suppose this is actually pretty decent. The crowd's not there. I wonder if that's because I may have actually accidentally turned that off. That's not supposed to be off. But nonetheless, you could just, I guess, assume it's one of those local tracks that just doesn't get many showings except for like big graded stakes days. We'll just treat it like that. Desert Glow still trailing. 5 furlongs left to go. 32 miles an hour down the back straight. It's still the favorite, Sand Tiger, clear by more than 4 lengths. Followed by Weld, and then Tronesa, Koldun Kingdom, and Desert Glow is the trailer though. Jockey trying to get Desert Glow on a move. Our gray mare. Let's see if she'll have a run here. Hopefully. I'm just going to let the jockey do its thing. I don't even really... This is a game where I want to treat it like a manager game completely. Like, I don't want to start playing it because if that's the case, again, we play Gallop Racer. Here's a good run here for Desert Glow on the outside. It's a really good run. So we head into the stretch here. 2.5 furlongs to go. Less than that. Desert Glow kicking up into speed. Sand Tiger now trying to get going, but Desert Glow has the momentum. What looked like it may have been a little bit of a... Not I lost it out. I knew we were supposed to be running as a closer, but I didn't know we had this turn of foot. Desert Glow looking great here today, dropping class. Like I said, we need some wins. We need some money back in the HRG stables, and that's going to happen here today with Desert Glow winning at 5-1 over Tronesa, I think, and then Koldun Kingdom, or maybe vice versa. That's a fantastic win, and that's a distance too. That's a mile and what, two furlongs on the turf. Desert Glow gets it done. 5-1 over, yes, Koldun Kingdom to take second. And then third, I believe, was Tronesa. Finish off the trifecta. But nonetheless, we get the win, which is most important. That's what I'm happy about. Yes. Fantastic. Missed the break. And that's what I thought. I thought we missed the break at the early points of that race. And that's what had me concerned. But she recovered. And, see, I feel like if I would have taken control, I probably would have messed that up. That's totally not what I want to do in this game. And that's a fantastic win, desperate needed win, dropping in class there for Desert Glow on Halloween. Kick off the card, and that's what we want. Ridden as a closer, wonderful. We were always going to win that one. The distance was ideal. You see, I like seeing positive jockey feedback. I guess when I just kind of let them do their thing. See, sometimes I think people have told me to have more of a, personal approach to this game. Maybe that's the way you play. I don't think that's going to be my strength if this series is going to continue. I think I'm better off setting things up and kind of letting the AI and the management take its course. I think that's personally how I probably should be doing it. So, good win there for Desert Glow, putting some money back in our pockets. 6 for 24 in lifetime starts is Desert Glow. 63,000 total earnings. She's rated 91 and 97. So like I said, it was great to get her back. Actually, is that my first time winning with Desert Glow? I don't know why my voice peaked like that, but yes, I think it is. I never raced her prior to that. I don't think so. Yeah, she was not our horse prior. Yeah, I don't think she was our horse prior. Because the notes are here, which shows us where we actually started. So that's our first win with Desert Glow. Wow. Imagine finishing third essentially this whole time and just not actually winning a race until she makes arguably her first major switch back to the turf since we first started with her. I mean, yeah, she raced on the turf last time out in Phoenix, but slightly tougher competition and a shorter distance as well. So, yeah, we'll take that with Desert Glow. Fantastic. Fantastic. Who else? Let's see. Ribbons and Bow. Are you ready to go? Are you ready to go? Ribbons and Bow. Close to over racing this horse. We raced her once. What? I'm not running my 2-year-old into the ground, okay? I talk about that enough. I hate that there are actual people that do that. To some horses, not all of them. Like the horses with great pedigrees that can handle it, yes. But like the amount of 2-year-olds that die on the track every year, it's just a write-off. I know, it's just a write-off for people with money. That's how it goes. Okay, so actually, let's switch gears to Saranic Lake. She's rearing to go. So we'll get her in a race. How about that? Get Saranic Lake in a race. 6 furlongs is ideal. We can find one. And again, I need to start stacking wins, so I prefer to drop my horses in class. And Saranic Lake rated way too high for this race. Yeah, let's try to find a handicap race where I feel like she'll actually be in good company. Okay, this one is not too bad because that 88 rating horse down the stretch. And this is a 4-year-old stallion who seems to be on an upward trajectory, winning last time out at Albuquerque. So, yeah, let's go ahead and, yeah, I didn't want to do all that. My game kind of forced me to double click out of there when I didn't want to. But yeah, let's go ahead and get Saranic Lake, I think, in that contest with down the stretch. Is it this one? No, that's not the one I was viewing. This one? No, this one. Yeah, there we go. Saranic Lake. Yes. Late declaration as usual, but we need to get a race running. Let's do it. No, too high. Right, there's a certain rating. Oh, duh! Horse is rated, 98. Okay, got it. Yeah, so it has to be like 100. Which now is putting us closer towards graded stakes territory, if I could speak. So, yeah, clear selections, Eric. That's what I thought I was going to do in the first episode, pressing the C right here, and I just, did not do it for some reason. So, let's see. Let's go back to 6 furlongs. And, again, there's not really a lot of opportunities for her. This race, she's too highly ranked for. That selling race, that's not even what I'm not selling my horse. And she's not ready to run against this competition. That's kind of what I hate about being in this spot. Like, the game is not giving us a lot of options because, don't want to run her in a selling race. And she's not good enough to run in these races. So what do you want me to do? Except wait. Or put her in a race in a different distance. Maybe I'll try running her shorter. But again, these are probably all selling races. I doubt there's anything applicable for her. Maybe going a little bit longer at 7 furlongs. But again, it's just nothing but selling races. Nothing but selling races. No handicaps, no normal things. All selling. All selling races. Here's a handicap. Finally, something. And this is mid-November. So a couple weeks from now, we'll be racing in Vancouver. No late declaration. Only 1,000 miles away from the barn. So finally, a race that actually makes freaking sense for once. Isn't that a blessing? Indeed. We're going to go with the best jockey, Castellano. Yeah, I'm a creature of habit in this type of game. So we're just going to do that. Finally, some normalcy here for HRG. So that's good. Ribbons and Bow, I don't think you're ready yet. And the game said I'm not going to over-race my 2-year-old. Relax. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's skip to the race day and see how things go here. Okay. Horses in the green, but still not ready to actually race. In fact, I actually want to look at Ribbons and Bow in a little bit more detail. Okay, so this horse will hit a major cliff in I'm going to say overall ability loss as they age. Good constitution, though, so that's pretty nice. Extra speed rating, so we may have a speedster on our hands, so what do you want me to do? Like, I'm not trying to over-race my horse. As far as training is concerned, is there anything I can do? I don't think so. I mean, we could do gallops and other things, but yeah, I don't really. No, the horses are good condition. I would like to. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. I'm acting way too indecisive. What I'm gonna do is just see if we can get a race for Ribbons and Bow sometime next month if it clears. A handicap race at 92 or 95. Probably too high. An allowance race again. Most horses are also too competitive. I would like to race against horses at our level here. They're putting us against horses I just don't think Ribbons and Bows is quite capable of beating, so I'm not really liking it. I hate the idea of putting her in a selling race. In this handicap race, you know what? This is a little bit better. There's a couple lower rated horses in here. We'll do this. This is an Albuquerque, late declaration on the dirt. Now I think about it. Is there any indicator of what you may or may not like? Like, what have you performed best at? Not great on the dirt. Actually, yeah, turf. Huh. And can anybody let me know if there's any way to really tell? Going surface over a wider race of going conditions. That doesn't really answer my question, but all right. So what we're gonna do here, we're actually gonna try to make sure we stick to the turf. Can you even search races by turf or like that in this game? It doesn't appear you can, so it's annoying, but no big deal. Yeah, there's probably not going to be many options for us, to be honest, with this 2-year-old until they're 3 years old. Yeah, nothing on the turf as well, so I guess we're just going to go ahead and skip to our next race. And, yeah, let's just go ahead and get to our race with Saranac Lake here today. And we'll get back to figuring it out with our 2-year-old filly later. All right, here we go. So, handicap level 100. 3-year-olds going 7 furlongs on the dirt here in Vancouver. And Saranac Lake will be the post-time favorite at 7-2. I think. Or no, Hermione, whatever is 7-2. We're 92. Essentially the second favorite. And as usual, we're just going to ride it out. A couple of, yeah, we finally did get that win last time out. So you see that first place victory for our recent form. Prior to that, it was 3 fifth place results. So I believe we're on the dirt here today. Be interested to see how Saranac Lake handles the condition. Yeah, a little bit of a handicap, but that's with the 3 best horses in this field. We have Carmouche on board today instead of Castellano, who's riding with Reckway Striker. All right, so let's hope for some success here today with Saranac Lake and another win. Because like I said, we need that money. Not going bankrupt would be ideal. All right, so there's your look at the card here. You guys are probably going to see a lot of this game, Champion Horse Racing, and Final Stretch or Horse Racing Manager 2 come back into the channel over the next month as I prepare for the major transition. So we're off and running here. And Saranac Lake, remember, always look for the Ronald McDonald uniform colors, which is mainly the red and orange with hints of yellow. And there's our gray, Saranac Lake. Now, a little bit curious that we're not running as a closer here today. I'm hoping that maybe we're just that much better than this field, so the jockey is just choosing to run the horse a little bit further up in the field. A little less than 4.5 furlongs left to go. It is Sophie's Blue, or Sophie's Beautiful, Sophie's Bow out in front. Yeah, I thought that it should say Beautiful, but it's cut off. Reckway Striker in there in second. 3.5 furlongs left to go. The field's starting to go now. Not really getting a push. Jockey remaining patient with Saranac Lake. Now getting her going. 2.5 furlongs as the horses come around the final turn. Heading into the stretch here. Sophie's Bow still out there in front. Reckway Striker in there in second. Here comes the gray Saranac Lake trying to make a push. All these horses now really going for it with a furlong and a half left to go. It's still Sophie's Bow out in front. Reckway Striker holding in second. Saranac Lake, she's trying to dig in. Down to the stretch of less than a furlong left to go. Still Sophie's Bow. Now Reckway Striker poking ahead. And it looks like Saranac, she's going to, Lake going to call it a day. She just taps out at the end. What looked like a podium, what looked like a third place finish, ends up being darn near second to last. Looks like she just tired out there. And I'm not sure if that's a course issue or maybe just running that furlong longer, actually. I think that's totally the difference. I forgot. She's used to running 6. So she just tapped out there, and it's probably what the jockey will confirm as well. Restrained early, front rank halfway, soon weaken. Yeah, I think the extra furlong did too much damage to Saranac Lake here today. Otherwise, I think that would have clearly been a win. Written as a closer, sorry, but we were never in it. Yeah, like I said, the furlong was too long for Saranac Lake. We'll have to take that L on the chin and bounce back, as we usually do. But again, not winning hurts the money, and I can't actually. Have I taken out a loan in this game? I might do that just to extend the playthrough. It's not realistic, but I'm not going for that in the moment. Anyways, as most of you know. Yeah, can I request a loan? How much? Because I'm not gonna lie, I would request like a $500,000 loan just to clear us for a bit. Can I do that? 60,000. You know what? It extends the series, so yes. Normally I'd be like, no, not even worth it, but yeah. Let's see. $3,800 over 18 months, 19% interest means we'll have to pay back $68,000. You know what? I think we'll actually be able to make that happen. So I'm not even gonna freak out about it. We need the money, and we need to extend this playthrough. So, not ideal for Saranac Lake, but like I said, I think she runs 6 furlongs. So let's shorten her next time out. Ribbons and Bow, let's get back to this 2-year-old. Are you ready to go yet? Stamina's awful, but a sprinter, so that's a given. Yeah, let's try this horse on the turf. Yeah, I've actually realized I've been running with this horse for a while, and we haven't had any major success. This horse broke its maiden and hasn't won since. I'd like to still think there's a speedster in there somewhere, but whether or not we'll get to the bottom of that is really up in the air. So Ribbons and Bow, let's look for a 6 furlong contest. Anything? No, I guess nothing for this month. Let me go ahead and skip today. Yeah, let me just keep skipping until I see some better races open up for us. Yeah, it's going to be the same deal. I'm just going to get a skip probably through most of this month. Yeah, in fact, let's just skip till December. End of season awards, cool. We're nowhere here. HRG Ranch with 3 horses, $95,000, 6 wins out of 36 lifetime starts for us this season. So 16%, we're ranked 101. Yeah, we're nowhere near the top, but we're not the worst. The end of season awards happen in November in this game. Okay, I'm not used to it like in December for Gallup Racer and other games. All right, fair enough. You see the awards, I'm totally not invested because until we get closer to this point, it's kind of indifferent. And most of you already know this from who play the game anyway, so. Yeah, I'm just going to skip all of that. And, okay, yeah, I guess you don't race in December in this game. Okay, fair enough. Well, everybody's a year older. Good thing is we should have a foal here on the way soon, I think, right? Yearlings! Born! Yes! Eldorado! Wow! A colt, 938 pounds, average build. Disposition is excitable. Color is black. Sire is Guisho. 9 furlong stallion there, and the dam is Titania. Breeding indicator indicates we should be going the distance in our first horse. My first successful breeding in starters orders, because I did virtually nothing. But who cares? We have a yearling here. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and check this horse out in a little bit more detail. Excitable disposition, though. I do like that. I like to hear a horse that's ready to go. Potential. Now, somebody correct me. I think I've asked this before. Does this bar increase with the horse's potential over their tenure, you know, their career, or is this like static? You know what I mean? So I don't want to say if that's good or bad because it depends on what I just asked. I keep forgetting too, like, I think these stats slowly increase when your horse, I mean, not all of them, but like certain categories slowly increase over time, right? It's just, I really wish like the developers would have done something better than just, it's, you know, this bar can move and like it would be hardly noticeable unless, you know, it is like this where there's the darker shade and the lighter shade. Nonetheless, I'm not seeing anything special stand out here about this 2-year-old yet, but good enthusiasm. So I'll be curious to see how the horse will develop. But yes, hopefully we survive that long, right? That's the deal. Yeah, so that yearling is just waiting to hit the track. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do something. Actually, no, we're just going to go ahead and wait till these horses are ready and back in the green. And I mean all 3 of them. All right, so everybody's back in the green. Ribbons and Bows, I want to get into a race. Hopefully we can do that this year. Okay, hopefully there's a turf race. 3 years old now. Should be way better races available for our girl. And, yeah, let's see if there's anything on the turf. At 6 furlongs, doesn't appear so. There's a couple of handicap races. And I'm just going to have to take a chance at one of these on the dirt. 6 furlongs in Alberta. That's how we'll close out the card here today. And we'll get Castellano back on board. And that's pretty much, and that's next month. Gosh, that's actually a long way away. I just thought about it, but gosh, do I want to do that? I'm going to actually remove that. Is there anything available for us, like, anytime soon? Probably not, and it's the beginning of the year anyway, so I don't really think I can be too picky, right? Can she run 5? I really just want to run her on the turf, but you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to look to see if there are any turf races available for her, and it appears that there are not. Oh, no, there are. I'm just, like, totally just not even looking at them, but, well, she's not competing in any of these graded stakes turf races, so that's out of the question. Here's a handicap. That's going to mile. She can't run that. I don't think she can. Do you have the stamina for a mile? Not even close. So yeah, it doesn't look like there's many turf opportunities probably until next month, which is what I'm realizing I'm probably just gonna have to do. Not ideal. I wanted to get this filly in a race today, but we don't want to rush it. So yeah, no turf races this month. There's a handicap race next. They're all a mile. They're all a mile. So there's no like. Yeah, nothing shorter than that. That obviously makes sense. 7 furlongs, so she's not ready for those. So I'm going to have to run her on the dirt in the meantime. If that's the case, we might as well just run her in the nearest dirt race and see how she does. Which, could she run in a grade 3? It's a tall ask, but I'm going to give it a shot because I don't know if Ribbons of Bows is going to turn into anything special or not. And finally, a race that's only 112 miles away. It's like a 2-hour road trip, so we're going to go ahead and finish today with this in store. And then figure out what I'll do coming back. But yeah, here we go. Ribbons and Bows, where are you on the card, my girl? Okay, I didn't skip our race, did I? No. Not in race 4, not in race 5, not in race 6, or 7. Race 8. Okay, let's fast forward the betting here, and we are expected to finish 3rd or 2nd. No, 3rd, that's what I thought. Going off at 10-3? 3-10? What? 28-1, 12-1, 9-1, 5-1, 10-3? I've never seen that. And not like that. 5-2, yeah, I've seen that, but 10-3? Let's just go with our morning odds at 7-2, right? Let's just keep it simple. We have a chance here today. Let's see what happens at Oceanport. Close out the card. When we come back, we have more racing to do because, like I said, I'm trying to get through this. Trying to get through a couple of years without, like, having the game, you know, kick me out from just being awful, right? So, all right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 6 furlong sprint, right? We're off and running. Pretty good start there for Ribbons and Bows. Seafire Lad out there, leading Miss Pinkerton. in second, Ribbons and Bows, with the Ronald McDonald colors. Have to say it. It's just funny to say because I don't know if I had that in mind when I started this playthrough, but, you know, it's here now, so oh well. Yeah, still sitting there comfortably in third. She looks like she's in pretty good striking distance. I certainly hope the jockey knows what they're doing, which, of course, they know better than I do. Getting her on the outside now. Let's see if she has a run. A little bit early, though. I would have personally waited. She was at the rail. I get trying to make sure that the 3 horses behind didn't take any ground. All right, we're into the stretch now. 2 furlongs left to go. Looks like the leader, Seafire Lad, has called it a day. Tiring a bit. Miss Pinkerton's going to fly right past. No. Seafire Lad's still there on the inside, but no, it's Ribbons and Bows now taking off. And it appears the jockey, obviously being the jockey for a reason, knows what they're doing. She's pulling away 3 lengths. Going to look back now, actually. Says, no, we're on cruise control. This race is pretty much all in hand. And as Ribbons and Bows finally bouncing back for a well-needed win to end the card here today. Desperately needed. She had been going through a slump for over a year. But 3-year-old season. Maybe she'll actually be developing a little bit. Gotta remind myself to be patient with some of my horses. I always forget that. 10-3. She gets a big win. Hopefully that's a decent payout for us. But yeah, settled mid-division early, middled halfway, led inside 1.5 furlongs out, and she forged clear. And those notes are actually as accurate as the race happened, so we'll take it. That's fantastic. I love that. Love a win. Written as a closer, lovely horse. Please keep me in mind for future rides. Okay. Nakatani. Nakatani and Ribbons and Bows is the connection. Apparently this jockey really likes our 3-year-old, filly. And that was a grade 3, I just realized. Right? That was a grade 3 that we just won. Did I, even think about that? No. We just won a grade 3 with Ribbons and Bows, which is her first greatest stakes win in her career. And she does it as a 3-year-old. Fantastic. And that bumps her up to a 94 buyer rating. She initially was at a 98 at her highest, and she hit that slumper. So hopefully we're on the way back up. And yeah, she cleared that easy. So hopefully that's a sign of good things to come this year for Ribbons and Bows. And like I said, that money was well needed. 101,000. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Winning races like that keeps our pockets at least from going completely broke. And that means that we can obviously extend this playthrough and actually get through this game, which I would like to do. Like I said, I'm not taking it super serious. I'm not really taking it serious at all. But the point is, I would like to get through more than just 2 seasons, which is usually where I fail. So hopefully we can continue to build on that. That's what I'm looking forward to. I appreciate you guys for love and support. Hopefully you enjoyed. We'll be back with some more starters, orders, champion horse racing was Horse Racing Manager 2 action on this channel. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. Like I said, major transition, the biggest happening. Some parts will never be the same, but that's for the better. I trust that you'll believe me when everything comes to full circle. Appreciate you guys. Much love. Until next time, HRG signing out. Hope you're having a fantastic day. See you later, and goodbye.